The House That Remembers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a spooky story that's about more than just ghosts, it's about memories, secrets, and a house that seems to hold them all. Meet Julia Parker, a city girl who's had a pretty tough year. Looking for peace and quiet, she decided to rent a secluded colonial home in a picturesque New England town. But what she found was way more than she bargained for. Buckle up, because this is a tale of whispers, warning messages, and a house that remembers. Julia Parker's journey. Julia Parker was your typical stressed out city dweller, overworked, overwhelmed, and in desperate need of a break. So when she stumbled across a listing for this charming rental house surrounded by trees, it felt like the perfect opportunity for some R&R. The photos showcased a cozy, albeit aged, colonial home, promising a getaway filled with tranquility. She even received a warm response from the owner, Mrs. Halloway, who mentioned that the rain made the house feel cozy and inviting. Sounds delightful, right? Well, after a 3-hour drive through winding forest roads, she arrived at the house, and it looked just as enchanting as the photostall trees, a melancholic charm, and all that jazz. But as Julia stepped inside, she could tell right away that this house had its own presence. Maybe it was the creaking floorboards or the smell of rain-dampened wood, but something felt different. Little did she know, this would be just the beginning of her strange adventure. First night in the house. After settling in, Julia was finally starting to unwind. Rain started to fall softly against the windows, creating a perfect backdrop for her first night of relaxation. She curled up on the old couch with a good book, a warm cup of tea in hand, and for a moment, everything felt right in the world. But then she heard its soft, barely there footsteps coming from above. Her heart raced. How could that be? She tried to convince herself that it was just the house settling a classic horror trope, right? But as the evening progressed, those subtle noises turned into distinct footsteps. Seriously, it sounded like someone was pacing the second floor. Julia decided to investigate, flashlight in hand, navigating the creaky stairs while trying to keep calm. The hallway felt eerie, the moonlight casting strange shadows. She checked every room, old brass bed frames and antique furniture greeted her, but no one was there. Just chilling, empty rooms. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't alone. The air felt thick, heavy with expectation. The encounter. As she peered into one room, Julia's attention was snagged by the window. Rain blurred the glass, but there was something else, something eerie. Underneath the condensation, words appeared. Help us. Yikes! That's not something you want to find in a rental, especially when you're already freaked out. She rushed back downstairs and locked herself in. It felt safer. But just when she thought she could get some sleep, everything changed. Around 2 a.m., whispers began to fill the room. At first, it sounded like a distant dream, but as she gained consciousness, the whispers became clearer, urgent, pleading. Julia pressed her ear against the wall, dread pooling in her stomach. She heard words. She won't let us leave. Now, her heart was racing for a whole new reason. This was bad. She opened her phone to check the rental listing, looking for at least an escape route, but to her horror, the listing was gone, just vanished into thin air, replaced by an error message. What on earth was happening? Unraveling the mystery. The whispers swelled, urgency ringing in her ears as they echoed off the walls. She won't let us leave. Who is she? Julia's mind raced. The house was a character in its own right, holding on to something dark. With nowhere to turn and a desperate need to understand what was happening, she was face to face with an entity who seemed to be keeping secrets, maybe even about previous tenants. She took a deep breath, preparing herself for whatever was coming next, climax and conclusion. Just as she was processing everything, footsteps echoed louder. Someone or something was definitely coming down the stairs. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. What's going to happen to Julia? Will she figure out how to escape this haunted house? Stick around, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Outro. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and diving into this creepy tale. Have you ever experienced something similar? I'd love to hear your ghost stories. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more spine-tingling stories and adventures. Until next time, stay curious and a little spooky.